All right, guys, we're live, and joining us is John Podlasek.
Hey, how you doing? John Podlasek here.
Yeah, awesome. And of course, tabmok99, aka Justin, hanging with us. And
what's going on, guys?
Justin, you want to kick this interview off? We are very lucky to have you with us.
Well, John Podlasek, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very honored to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
If I remember correctly, I think you worked on Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon, that whole trilogy.
Right. And I worked a bit on MK versus DC and about 2/3 of it. And then that was my last one. But yeah, those are the big three.
All right, so here's an announcement for Kombat-Kon. Primary Colors generously donates the prizes for Mortal Kombat 1 tournament, Mortal Kombat 2 tournament. They're going to be doing a sale, 25% off of their toy packages. So head over there, get a discount off of that stuff. Definitely patronize them because they're very generous and they always help out by giving us prizes for our tournaments. If anybody wants to come up here and get some of the rest of this cake, I don't want it to go bad. Help celebrate Brian Glenn's birthday. Shao Kahn, the man himself, come up here and get a slice of this cake. There's probably 6 slices left. So come on up here.
Okay, so, and that kind of segues into our next question. So, no, MK versus DC, you did the tail end of that. Did you do anything with MK Shaolin Monks, which was kind of in the middle of that era?
Yeah, I wasn't really that involved with it. That was being done by Sean Himmert, something like that. So I think I was in the special thanks, but I didn't have any real involvement with it. And it was a great game, and then the sequel and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I can't take any credit for really doing anything with that other than kind of seeing it happen while it was going on. And I think I made a trip out to LA once with the developer and stuff. But yeah.
Because they were out in Los Angeles, like Paradox, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So then, how did you get into Midway? Because if you started with the Deadly Alliance era, was that your first project at Midway, or were you doing other games for them before?
I did some. I first came in and I was helping a little bit on the arcade stuff. I started in 2000, so it was Arctic Thunder.
Yes. Classic. Don't you have an Arctic Thunder?
No, I have a Hydro Thunder.
Okay.
I have 2 Arctic Thunders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're not working. I gotta work on the computers, but had that, and then I helped in the tail end of the grid, organizing focus tests and working with some stuff. And then went into Deadly Alliance.
So even before your first Mortal Kombat game, you still worked with a lot of the same people on the Mortal Kombat team.
Yeah, because the grid introduction to the team and meeting the guys and doing focus tests. The grid was an awesome game.
Yeah.
Anyone who's played, I mean, you understand how fun it is if you get a chance to play it.
Yeah.
Like a Galloping Ghost, and they got the 6 units and everything.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Galloping Ghost Arcade because they throw this event together and we all have tons of fun. That's pretty much our default hangout place. That's pretty much our go-to place. So we are definitely well versed in the grid at this point.
Yeah. I don't get down there enough because I live kind of far away, but every time I go there, I'm always impressed with the new games it's got out and how it's expanding.
You're always growing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So we kind of talked a little bit about the beginning of your career with Midway. What about the end of your career? Because you mentioned that you kind of left halfway through MK vs. DC, and had you stayed, it would have been Warner Brothers and NetherRealm Studios and all that. So what was going on in your professionally with you?
It was time just to get out of the industry for a little bit and do something different. So I had some friends from the gaming industry that were at a company that did video IP streaming stuff, and an opportunity to work with them, and I did that. And I started in the game industry back in 1989. So if anyone remembers the TurboGrafx 16 and all that kind of stuff, I was on the hotline phones back when there were people would call and say, how do I get by Mr. Roboto? And
how do you beat Bonk's Adventure?
Yeah, Bonks, and we had big books and binders where we'd have to play the games and then be able to answer questions. And,
so how many TurboGrafx games have you actually beaten?
Probably a couple dozen. We had some guys that were really, really good, so we'd be like, get a call, and I'm like, I haven't finished it, it's not my book, and like, hey Mike, because it's one guy might
Looks like it's
finish
dead,
every game,
right?
like, how do you get by this game or that game and stuff. And, yeah, it was like a call center, and it was part-time, doing TurboGrafx, and that was a lot of fun.
So you figured out a way to go from working on that end in the games industry to really breaking into game development.
Yeah, I worked through in QA, so then I did
That's the big
a company
difference.
called Icon Simulations that was outside Chicago. And they did a bunch of 16-bit games, and I was in QA, then I managed QA, and then I got into production on Beavis and Butthead. So if you ever played Beavis and Butthead, it was called Winner Takes All. It was a PC game. It was a trivia game based on Beavis and Butthead, kind of like You Don't Know Jack. And that was the first game I produced, and that was 1996. And yeah, then Viacom went under, and I've worked at other places since then. This game industry has ebbs and flows and things like that. So,
Right, there are cycles, definitely.
Yeah.
We've seen the ups and downs here.
Yeah. So I worked at other places like Bluebite and some other different game companies, and then I was at Midway. And I was at Midway, that's the longest place I've been in any one company, almost 2 years.
So what other kinds of things have you done most recently? What kind of projects have you been involved in?
Yeah, right now I'm working at a medical gaming startup called Level X, Level EX, and we just released an update to the game that's now in AR, so it teaches intubation, anesthesiology, and it's on the App Store and stuff. And I'm also working on a side project that I've kind of been dabbling in about teaching people about the video game industry, and it's called How to Get Into the Game Industry.com. And I have a website up, and I'm just trying to see if there's interest from people, because over all these years I'm like, oh, in the game industry, how do you do that? And I've always had people's friends asking me about it, so I've toyed around with the idea if there was interest about doing something with like a class or like a group, that maybe weekly calls or something, webinars. So it's something, the website's up, and I'm starting to think about it more now. I have a little bit more time, especially coming in the winter, and I'm just seeing who's interested in people to get involved with it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I just found out a few minutes ago that you had this website, howtogetintothegameindustry.com. And that's incredible, because so many people want to know how to do that. You've got an expert from the Mortal Kombat development team who you forced your way into the game industry. You made it, and you succeeded there, and you worked on many successful games. So for you to tell people this is how to get into the industry, and I assume there's a little bit of what do you do when you get there,
right?
I think there too.
Yeah. And it's just talking about people with different ideas, like what path to take and things like that. And I've worked with all kinds of people across all different types of disciplines, whether it's art or engineering or sound and stuff. And we've been kind of thinking about coaching and giving people direction and helping them understand options. And there's demand for it. I may do something with it, so I'm just kind of curious and my toes in the water to see if it'll go anywhere.
Yeah, man. Well, that sounds really cool. As someone who's toyed with the idea of maybe game development, that's like a book that I would want to read and check it out, because you wrote a book that's available on the website as a PDF.
Right. Yeah, it's a free PDF. I got a couple questions up there, and I'm updating it again now, but it's 20 pages. I've got screenshots, I've got links. I put a little addendum section in there recently, and you can check it out for free.
Yeah, this is exciting, because I don't think anybody in the Mortal Kombat industry, anybody in the Mortal Kombat community knew about this.
Yeah.
But here's somebody from the Mortal Kombat team telling everybody, if you want to get into the industry, if this is what you're interested in, here's how you do it. I think that sounds really cool. So let's throw up a link in the description, and let's help people find this.
Yeah.
Even if it's not something you're interested in personally, it's just kind of cool to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can get the free book. It's a PDF, and there's got information in there. So.
And you're still working in game development yourself, even as you're doing this. You're still helping, with the anesthesiologist, like you said.
Yeah. We work with other doctors, and I work with game developers, and running in Unity and artists, and it's a startup, and it's downtown Chicago, urban north area, and it's kind of cool being involved. with doctors, and like learning about different conditions, and we build these cases into our app, training doctors and trying to help people in the medical field to help people.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. I mean, I think this technology is wonderful. Not only is it being used to help give us great games and entertainment, and people are getting really good at it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but you can go from that into, you know, like what he's doing now, which is helping people.
Yeah, and that's amazing. The games
saving
industry
lives, yeah.
is being used for that, and to kind of help train them and to help them learn about
train them about difficult cases, and yeah, we've got this one, the anesthesiology out, and then we've got another app coming out end of October, and then we've got plans for additional apps after that. And yeah, it's all gaming people in the development side working on these apps, and they're on mobile, iOS, Android, and it's really neat. It's something I got involved with about 6 months ago.
That's really incredible, man. Well, hey, it was great talking to you. Thanks for coming on and talking to us.
And just a few other questions too.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right. No, but since you've been involved in Deadly Alliance and Deception and Armageddon, are there, out of all those 3 games, are there any codes that are put in the game that people have not figured out yet? You don't have to tell me what they are or how to do them, but is there something that you know that people probably haven't found out yet? Something?
No, not really. I mean, my role is production, so I was just about spreadsheets and deadlines and E3 builds and stuff like that. Okay. So,
you didn't
there was always the super unlockables or whatever. Right. Like Easter eggs and stuff like that. I don't know of any that aren't probably on the interwebs right now, but
Because I mean, have you heard about the EBJ menu in the old arcade machines that was just found out not long ago?
Oh yeah. I saw something where Ed had announced it somewhere online or something like that.
Yeah. So I was kind of curious if there's something, because I mean, with that kind of a group of guys, they'd probably put something in there and be like, no one's ever gonna find this out.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, like for games, that's like the Easter eggs are like one of those little things you do for yourself. Like on the Beavis and Buddy game, we had like an Easter egg. We put a code in, and like a shotgun would blast their heads off. And it was like, tell anybody about that. It was just like our own little Easter egg, and then
that required cooperation from other people, like not just programmers, but I assume artists.
Yeah. It was kind of like something we just did for fun, and a lot of times there'd be just embedded videos. Like there's a game called Slamscape that was done by Viacom Media, the studio I was at. I didn't work on the game, but the artist that worked on it put an Easter egg in with a bunch of character art with music. Because I was in a band in the mid-90s called The Mess, and I hadn't seen that thing in like 20 years. It's up on YouTube now, and it had a bunch of footage from us playing live shows, and like Thirsty Whale, place in Chicago and stuff. But yeah, that was an Easter egg that was in the game. You put the code in, and you'd see these music videos that were in the game. It's just like a way to kind of do something for the developers, because you work a lot of hours. There's a lot of stress and pressure and stuff, so it's kind of like a fun little thing to do on the side. And it's a long history of gaming, to always having Easter eggs. Even software development has Easter eggs.
So if there was like one cool thing that you could change or put into, Deadly Alliance, Deception, or Armageddon, what would that be? If you had the power to do it, if you were Ed Boon.
Nothing that really stood out. I mean, MK Armageddon we used to call MK Kitchen Sink. That thing had so much stuff in it, and I enjoyed the Mortal Kombat. I'm big into cars and motorcycles and stuff, so that was the most fun I had. Like we do play tests during lunch.
You contributed a lot to that mini game.
Yeah. That was like my mini game that I was like because I'm not actually very good at playing Mortal Kombat, which is a shame to admit, but Mortal Kombat was where I did really well. So I was excited when we put that in, and that was fun being part of that little mini game.
Yeah, that really was a great diversion.
We were talking about it. How the Wii version was the best.
Yeah, because you hold the Wii remote and the steering wheel was. Yeah, they didn't get lazy when it came to that. That was really done.
That could have rivaled Mario Kart very easily.
I mean, I guess you could say when it came to that, they had to reinvent the wheel.
Oh man, bad puns everywhere today.
It's one of those days.
It's one of those days. Right on. And then, who was your favorite character in Deception or out of all of them that you got to work with?
Yeah. I mean, Rain, I did the sound effects, you know, so like the grunts and yells and stuff.
Okay.
And then
he had the worst ones.
Yeah. I might have been hungover. I don't know. And then probably Sub-Zero. I mean, you know, go to Freeze and all those moves. Just a classic one like that. But yeah, I was always busy, you know, working on development stuff, and I didn't play as much as I probably should have. My skills could have been better back in the day, but yeah, it was fun working on all the games, and then coming to things like this and just seeing, you know, how excited people are about the franchise, and traveling from all over the world. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the Mortal Kombat community. We're all really dedicated, especially the ones who have been in it from the beginning and who are still here. So like everybody you're seeing here today, you know, some of these guys are people who maybe left the community for a little while and they see how many cool things are going on here. And it's like, oh, we got to go back. We can't miss this.
Just Scott Howell.
Yeah. The anniversary and everything. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a lot of cool things that we can do now that we weren't able to before. Like, you remember, we were talking earlier, you remembered us from Mortal Kombat Online with me and Scott Howell and a few others of us. We went over there and we organized the fight night in the IRC. And things are a little bit further along now. We can do Twitch and we can do live streaming, so things have changed, things have improved.
Yeah, you guys came by the office and we sat in the conference room and it was just chat. There was no video. It was just
internet relay chat.
Yeah.
And yet those chats live on forever. They're like immortal. I mean, people still talk about what the MK team said at Fight Night in 2004.
I remember seeing pictures. Like, I had that little tablet, HP TC 1100, which was like one of the very first tablets.
Yes.
And
it had Windows XP on it. I remember that.
Yeah. It was like this.
I just remember you having it. I'm like checking out. Does this John Podlasek guy have?
It was like, you know, I'm always in meetings, always taking notes. So it was like I had that, and I had OneNote and stuff, and I'm kind of a gadget guy. So it was. And I saw the pictures. Like, oh, that's a tablet. I was like, that cost a lot of money. Yeah, it was a cool little gadget. Yeah,
that was up there.
It was cool.
I remember too about people in the community thinking, how do we know the Mortal Kombat team's really there? How do we know they aren't just faking it? We just posted pictures.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, well, here's the Mortal Kombat team in the IRC. Like, you can see the IRCs on their computer screen. You can see Ed Boon or, you know, John Vogel and everybody
I just
on the other side of it.
When I was in the chat and I was watching, I just imagined you guys from MKO sitting there, and then the dev team having a couple of beers and
like one big round table.
Yeah.
But no, it was actually really different. It was actually everybody was in their own separate office.
Yeah, you were telling me that you had to run between the offices.
I was running in between making sure things went smoothly.
But there was like that one area where there was a group of us, and then there was people in the offices, and it was cool.
But this guy is so dedicated. He actually found the bridge level that's in Mortal Kombat 3.
You were direct. Yeah.
Well, you know,
in Chicago, and we took this picture on it.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, we said that, but I was actually talking to John Vogel a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And he confirmed that most of it is actually CG.
So most of it's Frankenstein together.
Yeah, most of it's not real at all. It might have been based on that.
But there's so many consistencies with that particular bridge, though.
There really are a lot. Yeah, there really are. It's hard to believe that the MK team wasn't on that exact spot. But I will tell you this: if you look at the assets for the bridge, and I think I showed you this earlier. I showed John Vogel earlier today too, and I think I showed you.
The Pac-Man, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, there's this one asset, and MK Warehouse has this now. If you look on the arenas and you look at the buildings that have been extracted, the sprites, somehow there was a way to get the entire sprite, even though normally the screen would cut it off. And when you go to the very, very top of the building that you never really see in game, there's Pac-Man symbols all over it. So we know that doesn't exist. So yeah, it's basically all done in CG. All the Mortal Kombat 3 backgrounds were. Unlike the first two games, you know, Mortal Kombat 3 has a different look to it. It's CG. But I do agree with you. That bridge was absolutely
the closest. That's basically the MK3 bridge.
And not only that, in Mortal Kombat 9, everything's generated by computers too, and you can see oh yeah, that's the spot where Motaro was vaporized by Raiden.
Oh yeah,
and
an MK9 you can see.
And yeah, it's CG, but you can see it was based on real life stuff. But I don't think that happened during the era that you were in there. I don't think you worked on anything where you modeled a background after something real.
No, not necessarily real. It was always concept sketches and stuff like that. There might have been elements, but it was Tony Goski and Mike Duran, stuff like that, doing the drawings and then figuring out all the cool environments and stuff.
Yeah, I mean everything was very surreal in that time.
Yeah.
Everything was in Outworld or the Nether Realm.
Right.
So you didn't really have anything like
Yeah,
that.
like they're reality based.
And even the few Earth-based backgrounds, you guys really made it like supernatural. Like, well, this is Raiden's temple, and his his hammer is in here, and it's like there is no place on Earth like this. Like we know this isn't based on a place you can actually go to, because if it were, we probably would have gone there.
Right. You guys even went to the costume shop where the original MK1 costumes were bought, and it's still in existence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I assume you probably have been there.
No, I have not. I haven't checked it out yet, but I heard about it today. I was like, I should.
Yeah, fun stuff. Are there any other fun stories from like the Mortal Kombat era that you want to share with us today?
I was trying to think. There was the one, is it Deadly Alliance or Deception, the making of video? Remember that?
I think that was Deception.
Deception, yeah, that was the, I remember we had to get a mocap man. It was Nigel was talking to him in that video, and that was for the motion capture. So I was like, we're throwing people around too much. We need to get a motion a dummy. So I remember after like searching the internet to find this one and putting it on the credit card and getting the mocap man, and he was in that making it up video. He had a little cameo and he fell over and stuff like that.
So was that dummy just made for the making of video? Or?
No, it was actually like used in the mocap facility and stuff. But it was I saw it recently on YouTube, and I remember like, oh, that's mocap man, and you had to find him and then digitize him and put him in the game, and use him for mocap so he could throw people around without breaking his necks and stuff. But, yeah, there's a lot of stories. I mean, it was a fun place to work. I mean, we all worked really hard, and we all played hard at parties and P3s and press events, and it was cool to be part of Dead Alliance, especially when it came out and just took off. It's like, I mean, we sold, we're like, wow, we sold 1 million in Europe.
And winning awards, and
yeah.
I assume you guys spend a lot of times at award shows.
Yeah, I went to one of the video game award shows that was out in LA somewhere. Spike TV.
Yes.
Yeah, and I went out for that. Yeah, I remember. We had some stands, and there was like Motley Crue played, and there was like fire coming up, and you could feel the heat. And the flame floors are up on the stage and stuff. And, it was a fun period of my life working with those guys and working on projects.
Yeah, I mean,
being part of all something as big as this.
In addition to the game development aspect of it, there was a lot of other things going on. Like you mentioned, like there were always parties. There were events like E3, but even prior to that, they would set up like the pre-E3 party the night before.
Yeah. Yeah, there was the one on the rooftop.
Yes.
We had the Batman symbol. Well, no, it was the MK symbol, but it was very Batman-esque.
Right.
And
on the spotlight.
It was walking around trying to find where the party was at. You could see it on the building. It was like this giant, 30-foot MK symbol, and it was on the rooftop on the LA stand, I think, and the giant screens, and we were like scrambling to get the discs, making sure builds worked, and they were all good, and there was a lot of people there at the party from I'm trying to think of some of those shows, but it was a lot of fun being part of that. Yeah, E3 was always exhausting because we always had to work up to it, and then it was like, all right. And then you're working during the day, demoing the game, talking to people, doing press, and it was always fun. And then just to see people's response and reactions and see what came out of it. But it was a fun time.
Yeah, definitely, and I think those games are always going to be fondly remembered. Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon. and even MK vs. DC, which there's a sign that gives you credit for the games you did, and I don't think they mentioned that one. I think they kind of left that one off.
Yeah, I might be in the special thanks or something like that, but I was part of working with the writers and getting the story stuff figured out. I had no part of the story. It was just that was more mobile. Working with Justin Gray and another guy.
Jimmy Palmer.
Jimmy Palmer. Those were super cool guys to work with, and we worked with them, and it was just time to do something different. And Hans Lowe worked on the projects from there on with Hector Sanchez and stuff. Because the team kept growing too, it made sense to have multiple guys doing stuff. And now the team's huge, and they've got a whole bunch of producers and stuff. Back in my time, it was 25, 28 of us, and smaller team, and
it is crazy to see it getting bigger and bigger.
It's really exciting just to see it keep going and growing, getting more coverage and more interest. And you can't think of any games that have this longevity or this kind of enthusiasm. Other than like a Madden or something, but it's just Madden.
So have you been back there since it turned into NetherRealm Studios? Have you ever visited?
Yeah, I visited, and I was like, wow, this is really nice, because the Midway building was kind of, parts of it were kind of dumpy. It was kind of run down, it was an older building, and NetherRealm was beautiful. It was very well put together, and I was like, God, this is cool to see that they did it right. The old building was kind of funky in some spots.
Parts of it, yes.
There was a story. I remember we were joking. I think it was true. But the roof would leak, so there were like buckets that were above the drop ceiling to collect the rainwater. And over time, over years, one of the buckets got enough water in it that it like fell and like crashed through the ceiling tile into someone's office.
Wow.
And I was like, what the hell?
Probably should have called a roofer at some point.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it was fun to work there, and just to be part of the building. And the building would also flood at certain times when the rain got crazy, and there was this deep tunnel. And it was more on the sports side of the building. It flooded. It flooded like 2 or 3 times when I was there, which was. I remember we were crunching, and it was like, oh shit, there's water going in the sports building, and there's these $20,000 PS2 dev systems. So we were going into offices and getting them off the ground so that they weren't getting burned up. It was a lot of expensive hardware, but it was like the drinking fountain was shooting water up into the air. And it was just like flooding, and they would come in, cut the drywall up about 3 or 4 feet, put new drywall, lay new carpeting, and then a couple years later it flooded again.
it's hard to imagine something like that happening now. With new ownership.
Yeah, right. Not in NetherRealm, but it was like a geyser when the outside in the streets, when the manhole covers is shooting water up in the air, about 30 feet in the air. And nobody believed us. And we had the old crappy cameras taking pictures of it and showing it so they could show the city. Complain about what the hell's going on, why the guys are shooting out of manhole. NetherRealm is that new studio, especially the mocap facility, is amazing. It's very well done. Warner Brothers did it right.
I mean, it sounds like you guys have been through a lot of Midway in that old Midway building. I mean, you go in and you're already knowing you're going to put in a 10, 11-hour day, and then you got, sometimes I'm sure times where you're kind of under the gun, under pressure, you're lacking a little bit of sleep. Then all of a sudden that happens. You're like, oh my gosh, when it rains it pours,
It was just kind of like, what the hell's going on?
Well, did you actually end up losing any of those $20,000 PS2 dev systems?
No, we got them up. We got them off the grounds. The ones that were on the ground, and put them up on desks and stuff, and they were okay.
I can only imagine the panic that people were feeling when that was happening.
It was like, holy crap! Somebody called McCaffrey. McCaffrey was the guy who was in charge of the building, and like, let people know what's going on here. And it was at Futon. I'd crash my office sometimes if it was too late because I lived far away, and I was like, I don't want to drive home half asleep and try and drive back half asleep. So
Oh man.
we would I'd crash in the Futon and then be ready to go the next day.
Hey, let me ask you something else. What kind of games do you play when you have free time?
Man, I'm kind of embarrassed.
And do you have free time?
I don't have a lot of free time. I spend a lot of my free time motorcycling and stuff. Play a little bit of stuff on mobile. Golf game I've been playing. I don't game as much. Like one of my sons took over my Xbox and it was commandeered. So I have twin sons and they each have the game systems in their rooms. So there's not one in the area that I go. So I'm like, I just haven't got around to buying it.
Been shot down.
Yeah, they're the gamers now. I kind of pass the torch to them in terms of playing the games. And, but yeah, driving games is what I like. Forzas and Gran Turismo, stuff like that. So generally games I would play.
Matt?
A little bit. Back in the day, not a huge football fan. I mean, I watch the Bears and stuff like that. But,
I'm a Lions fan.
okay, all right.
It's tough. We've got 58 years of failure. Just because I gotta put that on, I gotta put that out there. I'm a big Lions fan.
Yeah. I'm doing better this year.
So far, we're 2 games in.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Anything can happen.
Right.
Going back to the racing games, our buddy Total Mortal Kombat, Luke, he's a big fan. I think his favorite is also another midway title, Cruisin' USA.
Attention VIP guests of Kombat-Kon. Pretty soon, probably in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to be getting all of the celebrities up here for the VIP group photos. So if you want to get in on that, we're going to be forming a line. You don't have to get in line right now. Just keep in mind, probably about 15 minutes from now, everybody's going to be here up on stage. They're going to pause the autograph lines, do the VIP group photos, and then everybody will go back to business. So if you're a VIP, one of the perks is that you get to come up here on stage, get in on a group photo with everybody that's here. If you're a VIP, you want to do that, just be aware about 15 minutes that's going to happen.
Excellent. I'm guessing you're going to be up there too then, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, people want to see the characters, right? I mean, I was a guy doing spreadsheets.
Yeah, but you worked on like 3 of some of my favorite games back in the day. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only guy that feels that way.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's the cast, which, yes, who's up there, but then there's also the crew.
Right. And you're the ones that make some of the cast look good in some situations, right?
Right. It's kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's what production is, behind the scenes, coordinating and making sure that the trains run on time.
Well, okay, that's interesting right there. What do you think was like one of your biggest contributions to Mortal Kombat during those days? What's something that's in the game that we can say, yeah, that was a John Podlasek thing?
Visually, I mean, I have an art background, but I didn't draw or do anything like in the game, in a visual representation. I guess it'd be really just about the dates to be out in time for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. I mean,
So rushing people along and making sure things happen as fast as they did.
Yeah. Yes. It was kind of like I drove the schedule, and that was kind of like my contribution. So I didn't, do the creative part of it. So it was like organizational part and doing that stuff. So that we got it out, people got to play it over the holidays and stuff like that. I see that as my kind of like overarching contribution. Yeah.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was, and back before online, it was also kind of a relief because after you get it out, you take a big sigh of relax and despair, go with the family.
Good, it's finished.
Right, it's done.
It's done now.
The disc is gone gold.
Yeah.
We're finished.
Yeah, exactly.
Wash your hands of it.
As you should.
Right. It used to be the cartridge is gone, the factory, the disc is gone, but nowadays it's DLC and having stuff queued up and all that.
And not to mention balance patches and things like this.
Yeah. And there was a little
constant tweaking.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that too because we would do the updates The last one with Armageddon, especially online, we were balanced and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a little bit more finite after that versus the way it is now, which is continuous and stuff.
Yeah, the games industry has definitely changed. We see a lot of differences. Even just looking at the Mortal Kombat franchise alone, you can kind of see how things have really changed a lot since the early days.
It's always a franchise that kind of keeps evolving. It does something different, you know?
Right.
And mobile too, right? I mean, mobile's done real well. I've got friends that work on there, like J.J. Williams, who I worked with at Disney Wideload. He's working on the mobile, and Mike Lee is a guy I worked with back in the early 90s. He's one of the main guys on the mobile stuff. So it's cool to see mobile doing well too, along with the console.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so, all right, well, I think if there's one last thing we want to remind the viewers, it would be check out the book, check out the free ebook, and check out the website, howtogetintothegameindustry.com.
Yeah.
It just seems like a really cool thing that I think a lot of guys out there who like playing games, maybe some of you guys are young and haven't thought about a career yet, but a few of you may want to actually go on and do this professionally. And despite the changes that have gone on in the industry, getting in still involves a lot of the same principles, a lot of the same hard work, a lot of the same coordination and creativity and talent and all these things like that. That doesn't change. The number of people involved may grow, but we're still going to need talented people to get into the industry, and you kind of have like a blueprint that they can follow, that if that's what they want as their career path, this is the way they can do it.
Yeah, it's all about coaching people and seeing if I can help and if there's interest and things like that. So, yeah, I've got experience and war stories and advice I can share from multiple decades or so.
Awesome.
It's really cool. It's really cool. So definitely a pleasure to have you, John.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you
Appreciate
for all of your work
Great
on the
seeing you.
games.
Great seeing you again.
We appreciate all of it. So thank you for all the dedication and time and effort that you put into your time with Mortal Kombat.
And thanks for keeping the rest of those guys in line and making sure they didn't miss their deadlines, because when they push a game's release date off, that kind of pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah.
We need that.
Right. Get it out, gotta get it done.
All right, cool. Hey, well, thank you so much. Take it easy.
Yeah, take care.